First of all, I'd like to thank Philippe and all the organising group for organising the CoU, and in particular the Theme 5 session today, all the panellists, presenters, and for you for contributing. I took a few points from today's session, so I'm going to break them down into the panels that we had, and to a degree that might be an issue that I want to go into later on. So we started off with the science panel this morning. And I guess one of the main take-out points from that is to the importance of a really good working relationship between the scientific projects and the users and the practitioners to ensure that whatever comes out of the project has value, and to ensure that also that you can actually get practical implementation and deployment of the solutions. And I think one thing that hasn't been mentioned today is these solutions need to be sustainable. The operators need to be able to use them in the field and actually maintain them in the field. On the policy side, I think it was demonstrated today there's been significant progress in the policy to group, whether that's bringing the links better internationally, the creating of the new EU CBRN security network, the joint procurement initiatives that have started, links to exercises, and also the starting to get the links between the EU dimension and the external dimension. The challenge that I can see from that side is, as mentioned, how to further synchronise the policy side, but also then to link it in with the innovation and what limited resources we've actually got to support that. On the demand side, it was mentioned from there they need a better awareness of what capabilities is out there in the field, whether that's science or technology providers. But on the other side is it's up to us as innovators and solution providers to actually show there is an added value to providing these solutions for civil CBRN security because it is such a niche market. On the innovation panel, again, a lot of this is coming down to relationships. How do we build relationships in a structured and efficient way so there's actually shown to be benefits to all sides? Practitioners will be involved in projects and innovators will be involved in projects if they both see there's a benefit. If you don't see a benefit, you're not likely to actually join the club. One of the challenges that obviously came out of this is a need really a need, which is a take-home point I'm going to get from that, and will that actually lead to a subsequent demand from a customer? Not all needs will necessarily mean there's actually a new use for that application. Another area is we all do needs and gaps assessment, and I think something that needs to be considered is how can we pull all that resource together somewhere and stop repeating the same thing, and perhaps not necessarily to concentrate on needs. What we're really interested in is what are the gaps, the priority gaps that we need to fill. Everyone has lots of needs, but it's the gaps that are really the issues that we need to concentrate on. And one of the solutions that may help with that is capability development planning. On the practitioner's side, issues on obviously sharing sensitive information, and obviously the time the practitioners have time to respond to our requests and to actually help on the innovation side. But from our side, it's having the right cost and having the appropriate innovation that the user actually wants. As I say, don't build a Ferrari when a basic go-kart will do to meet the needs. There is a tendency in science and innovation to over-engineer. Engineers love to improve, sometimes for just improving's sake. Involvement, communications, and I think on the point on the dual use, the only thing I would add is if you keep dual use down to what I would call a core technology area, you're okay. It's when you start applying it to specific end user requirements, that's when you start coming into issues with export controls and dual use and that sort of side. So if it can be managed at an application layer that could be applied to either side, you can handle that side. So in summing up, whether we're science policy, innovation practitioners, we've somehow got to communicate and participate. And I mean participate. It shouldn't just be a listening shop. We have to all provide inputs on this in a structured and an efficient way so that we all benefit. Now I've gone through the sessions as they've gone through. We've had a science session, a policy session, innovation session, practitioner session. One thing I would like to see, I think, in a CoU is a mixed round table in which we actually have representatives from all those disciplines on the table, perhaps at the end of the meeting, so you can actually get a debate between the actors, because there's a danger you end up stovepiping down the individual areas again, so that might be something to consider. In the longer term, to develop and, say, further improve the CoU, then an EIP could be a way forward, and potentially the CBRN, because it's a fairly niche and controlled area, could be the pilot to actually take that forward.